Hello, and thank you for joining us for Re-engage Your Database with a personal market update. My name is Randy Cochrane. I'm the Director of National Growth and Development with Equity Real Estate. We are an independent real estate company, and we're currently in 28 states. We're growing nationwide, and we're just excited to share this information, whether you're an agent with Equity or not. What we're attempting to do is just level up the professionalism and help agents across the country just stay engaged in their business and help their clients as many ways as possible. As we get started here today, have a pen and notepad close by, take notes, and then we'll answer any questions here towards the end. And let's get rocking and rolling. So right now, given the current climate of our market, your database is more than just names and numbers. It's a living network of past clients, prospects, and community connections. And the interesting thing about our databases is whether you have a CRM, which is your contact resource management program for your real estate business, or just something as simple as your cell phone, that database is a gold mine. And the reason why we say that is if you take your cell phone, if you have an iPhone, this is really easy to do. If you just go to your contact list and scroll to the very bottom, it will show you how many contacts are actually in your cell phone. If you have an Android phone, it doesn't actually do that, but you can go to the App Store and download an app called Contact to Excel, and it will export all of the contacts out of your cell phone into an Excel spreadsheet that you can filter, and it'll show you all the number of contacts. That's also great if you're not using a CRM right now. You can take that contact list and upload it into your CRM. It's going to save you a lot of time getting your contacts into your data management system. Now, statistics show that right now, and it's been a little bit different in the past when we were in a really hot real estate market, really from about 2020 to 2023, 7% of all of the contacts in your database or cell phone did some type of real estate transaction or knew a family member or a friend that did. And so what that means is if during that period of time you had 100 contacts in your phone, that was 7 people in your phone or your database that did a real estate transaction within a 12-month period of time. Now, given our current climate of the market, those statistics have changed a little bit. And right now, what's happening is 3% of your database is making a move in the next 12 months. And so, again, if you have 100 people in your phone, that's 3 people. If you have 200, that's six. But what if you have 1,000? Like if you have 1,000 people in your phone, that is a ridiculous number. Plus, if every one of those contacts, because we have one level of separation, does a real estate transaction, there's actually 1,200 people in your phone or database that could be making a move in the next 12 months. The key is just engaging with them. And we have to engage in them in a different manner now than we have in the past because we have so much coming at us from the media outlets, from social media. It's really hard for a property owner or a client or a consumer to filter through what is real data and real information and what is not. And so the term AI or artificial intelligence has become a buzzword, and it's all everybody is talking about right now. And of course, we can go into Chat GPT and type in questions and we can get an answer. You know, there's still some hallucinations there, but it does give us data and information. And it's okay to just look at that, but trying to decipher that in a localized market with really a real person that has the pulse on the heartbeat of what's happening in your community is very different. AI cannot do that. And really what consumers and our clients and our customers are now craving is II. And II stands for interactive intelligence. They want to be face to face, eye to eye, and communicate with a real person. I don't know about you, but I recently dialed in on the phone. I had a chat bot that was AI answer the phone, and it asked me what I was calling about, but then it took me down this whole other path that is not the direction that I wanted to go and got really, really frustrated. If you've ever called an airline, you probably know what I'm talking about. You want to get a representative on the phone as fast as you can. So uh, right now, just think about interactive intelligence as we go through today's webinar. Now, again, take notes along the way, and we're going to be sharing some valuable takeaways at the end of today's webinar that you're going to have access to. Here's why personal market updates matter. Your past clients, your current leads, and your sphere of influence already know you, but staying top of mind is harder than it's ever been before. It requires consistent, value-driven communication that is just more than sometimes data and information. And the benefits of sending personal market updates to your clients is because they can become personalized. It's not just the city, it's just not the area, but oftentimes it's a community. And we talk about this a lot in our webinars because we do a lot with HOA.com. And with HOA.com, there's 375,000 HOAs in the country. And just in my zip code alone in Sandy, Utah, in 84093, we have 175 HOAs. And they're all very different communities. But the reason why we work with those communities is because we know that homes in the HOAs, they sell for 5 to 6% more money and they sell faster than other homes. But if you have a home inside an HOA and a home outside an HOA, the data and the information is going to be different. Even though you might be doing just a market report for a whole market area, it doesn't necessarily apply to some of those communities. And so getting like personalized makes the biggest difference. And when you're sending these personal market updates, right now, a lot of us have been doing these on a quarterly or a monthly or just sometimes on an annual basis, and that is no longer enough. Consumers, especially right now, if they've even thought about selling a home or they are thinking about selling a home or they're on market, they need weekly updates because right now things are changing so fast based on inventory, based on interest rates, based on the economy, based on new programs that lenders are rolling out into the marketplace. We need to just stay engaged. Now, these personal market updates, it's going to build trust and it's going to demonstrate your ongoing market expertise. And this is a big thing. You want to be the expert in your market area and you want to become the trusted advisor for all things real estate, just not the market. And then these market updates drives engagement with your clients. It gives your recipients reason to start conversations with you. It positions you as the go-to agent and it keeps you top of mind when they or someone they know wants to buy or sell. And then it also encourages referrals. And a well-informed homeowner is more likely to refer you to friends and family because they see you as the market expert. Now, it's really interesting because just yesterday I went to uh, a watch dealership to have the batteries changed out in my watch. And when I was having the batteries changed out in my watch, it was really interesting because the watchmaker said to me, I was wearing my equity shirt, and he said, are you a real estate agent? Do you work for a real estate company? I said, yeah, I'm a broker here in Utah. And he said, how's the market? And that is the question we get from everybody, right? Well, because I'm up to date on everything that's happening in our market, I said to him, I said, well, right now the average days on market in our market is 38 days. The average price per square foot of a property being sold is $234.05, and the median sold price is $587,000. And he went, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe that you know those numbers off the top of your head. And then, of course, that establishes me as an expert in the marketplace. But then at the same time, what that did was it gave me an opportunity to ask. So I simply said to him, right now is a great time to buy a property because there's inventory on the market. There's motivated sellers like we haven't had for a long, long time. And it puts a buyer in control. And that being said, who do you know that may be thinking about making a move in the next 30 to 90 days that you can think of? And he said, let me think about that because I talk to people all the time that come in the watch store, and a lot of times they're selling watches because somebody's passed away, and they're selling their items, or they're coming in and just saying, "Hey, I've lived in the community forever. You always took great care of me. I'm moving." So it's getting in front of somebody that's in front of somebody all the time. And it was really interesting because while he was changing out a battery in my watch, we had a conversation about his experience selling his home 2 years ago in our same market. And he said, we went on the market and we had 19 offers in 2 hours of going on the market. They were almost all sight unseen, and we ended up selling it for way above list price and closing quickly for cash. And of course, that market in our market area, unless a home is priced absolutely correctly and it's the nicest, shiniest, best home on the market, that's not going to happen today. And so we really need to make sure that we know our numbers. Now, the key takeaway from a personal market update is less about selling and more about educating on what's happening in the market area. And oftentimes, too, it's just not about pricing. It's about schools, it's about crime, it's about uh, the median income, it's about the number of children in the household. It's really all of the data and information. And again, you want to be that reliable source. The credibility of your update hinges on the quality of the data that you present. So always cite reliable and relatable resources. And we're just going to share with you some top recommended resources today. Of course, your local MLS, that's going to give you the most accurate update listing and sales information, or your local board of realtors. I know our board, because it owns our MLS on a monthly basis, provides an update, but it's always about 30 days or 21 days behind. And so to get the most recent information, we have to go in and actually download a report and calculate it. Also, you have major real estate platforms, Realtor.com, NAR.com, Redfin, Zillow, Trulia. These are all great places to also go for up-to-date data. And then also neighborhood and market analytic tools. And these analytics tools, there's neighborhoodscout.com, altosresearch.com, bestplaces.net, NARRPR.com, and then NACO.org. These are all great places to go and get traditional market updates. Now, I know a lot of markets around the country are starting to see pre-foreclosures and short sales, and there's definitely places that you can go like housingwire.com to get those foreclosure heat maps to see what homes and what areas are now entering that pre-foreclosure market. Structuring your market update is going to be really important because you want to make sure that it's relatable and readable. And so what you're going to do is you're going to be starting your market update with a personal greeting. We're going to give you a template and a tool for this just for attending and registering for today's webinar. And with your personal greeting, you want to be opening your personal greeting with an update with a short, friendly introduction that feels like you've tailored that to your audience. You want to mention the neighborhoods or neighborhood that your market report is focused on. For example, we might have a completely different market report for Draper, Utah versus Harriman, Utah, because they're two separate areas, even though they're pretty close together. And then you want to mention the season because there's a lot of seasonality and cyclical cycles in real estate, especially if you're in a second home or vacation market area. And then you may have a recent local event happening or coming up to make the recipient feel like the message was created just for them. In our market here in Sandy, Utah, we have a summer concert series that's in an outdoor amphitheater, and we'll put our market industry data for what's happening in the community, but then we'll also list community events that are happening in the market that our clients may be interested in that they didn't know were happening. And then number two is you want to present key market insights. Highlight the most important data points first, such as median home prices, days on market, number of new listings, and then most recent sales. And right now, one of the most powerful things that we can share with our clients in the market space is how long homes are on the market before they go under contract or pending escrow, and then how long it takes from pending and escrow to close, because those are two different dates. And days on market total, that may be how long it takes to get everything closed up once it hits MLS. But a lot of times, we're seeing now, especially homes hit the market, they're staying on market longer before an offer comes in. We want to have that different data and information available. This is going to be crucial for your upcoming listing appointments as well, and then additional price improvements as the listings are on the market if they don't sell. Use bullet points or short sentences so the information is easy to scan at a glance. And you want to make sure that your numbers on your market update are big, and you want to let them know if it's a dollar amount or a percentage amount, clearly delineated. And then add a clear call to action. You're going to wrap up your update with an invitation to connect by offering a free home evaluation. Encourage them to ask questions or suggest scheduling a conversation. A simple, specific call to action increases the likelihood that they'll respond, and especially time the year around the tax notices. It's crucial that when the tax notices go out, usually what will happen is they'll send out a notice earlier in the year that'll say, here's the proposed taxes that are going to get voted about or on. And then once those are agreed upon, then here's your new tax notice. And then once you get that notice, you have a small window of opportunity to dispute your taxes with your property tax collector in your state and county. That way, if your property is being overvalued, you don't want to pay more taxes than you should be paying. And what we're seeing right now is we're seeing a lot of tax notices based on previous year's values. So they're coming in very high, but in some of those market areas, the prices have come down. And so we can get more recent sales data and information to our clients and our customers and people that we know that are in our market and our neighborhoods to help them lower their tax basis to what it really should be. Remember, this makes you an industry expert. It's an item of value, and it's only going to take you a few minutes to provide this information to your clients so that they can go through that tax dispute process with their county. One thing that you're definitely going to want to do is personalize beyond the numbers. While statistics are the backbone of your update, your personal insights give them meaning. So without context, numbers can feel cold and impersonal. And the ways to personalize your market updates is to connect trends to their neighborhood specifically, especially if there's new development happening. I was just reading recently in Kendall, Florida, where Lennar Homes is coming in with 7,000 new homes that they're going to be building in that market. And wouldn't it be great to go and learn all about what's about to happen, reach out to the fringed market or the neighborhoods to see if those property owners, especially if they've lived there 2 years or more, can avoid capital gains, make a move into a brand new home in a market area or neighborhood that they already live in. Because now what happens is you end up with more than one transaction. You get the sell on their property when they sell, and then you get the buy on the new construction. And then also, if you do it right, you should be getting 2 referrals for every one of those clients each. So one transaction could lead to 6 to 8 transactions in a market area really, really quickly. And then share your professional interpretation of what the numbers mean, and then acknowledge market conditions, have whether they're good or they're challenging. And if they are challenging, make sure you do that with a little empathy, because right now we do have a lot of frustrated homeowners that are on market that want to sell, but they're just sitting. And an example of that is over the past 60 days, homes in your neighborhood have sold for an average of 3% above the list price, often within the first 2 weeks of being on the market. This suggests demand is still going strong despite rising interest rates, making it an affordable time to sell for a well-presented home. So that gives them a really good idea of the market. It gives them a positive outlook of the market. And then if you're in a market area that's maybe doesn't have the strongest market, you have days on market, then you're going to have to tailor that message. And again, be upfront, be honest, and set the expectation early. So if the property doesn't go under contract or sell within 30 days or 60 days, whatever the average days on market is for that market area, you can have realistic conversations and do price adjustments to improve the price to a price that'll cause the property to sell. Again, right now, if we have interest rates drop a quarter to a half a point, we're going to have 600,000 home buyers enter the market probably in the next 30 to 90 days. And you also have a lot of property owners out there that are senior homeowners. They're the baby boomers are 55 and older. They have $19 trillion in equity in their properties. When those property owners sell, they're not worried oftentimes about repurchasing because of an interest rate. They have cash. And that means that they have negotiating power and they can buy now. And at some point, if they want to, they could refinance to a cash out refinance transaction or even a reverse mortgage. So many different options out there right now. But if we're not out sharing this information and talking about these things, then our clients and our markets don't even know. There's different delivery messages that different delivery methods definitely get results. So even the most well-crafted update won't work if it's not delivered effectively. Different methods work for different audiences. So consider a mix of multiple approaches to maximize your impact. You can do an email newsletter. It's great to have regular email updates going out to your clients. They're very cost effective. It gives you a way to reach an audience very, very quickly and at a very low cost. Also, you can do printed mailers. Printed updates feel more personal and tangible. Also, you want to be doing in-person connections. Face-to-face delivery creates these strong impressions. Also, if you're working in a community and they're having an HOA meeting and you're the specialist in that area, especially if you're participating with HOA.com and you have that certified HOA specialist designation, it sets you apart from all the other agents in the community and really makes you that industry expert. Here's the thing though, is after the update, you have to keep the momentum going. And after sending your update, you want to like that's just the beginning. The real results come from what you do next. If you're following up with a quick text, a call, or a social post to spark conversations and show you care, especially if you've given somebody a comparative market analysis to dispute their taxes, you want to follow up with them and say, hey, how did that tax dispute go? Because now when they say to you, well, you know what, I took the information you gave me, I disputed with the county, they came back, they lowered my taxes $15,000 and I got a $300 tax credit. That's exciting. And that's an opportunity for you to ask for that referral because that's a referral moment. They're at a heightened state of enjoyment or excitement because you just saved them money. Or even if you gave them the information, they submitted to the county, the county still told them no. It's an opportunity to say, well, at least we tried. Because there's a 100% guarantee when you dispute taxes that if you don't try it, then you might not get a result. And then you want to track open rates, clicks, and responses on your emails, your text messages, and then refine your timing, your format, and the message based on what works. We found that a lot of our communication gets looked at more often, sometimes on weekends now, than it does during the week, because people are so busy during the week that if we're sending a message on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning between 9 and noon, typically it's not getting opened or looked at. But if we send it later in the evening during the week or even on the weekend, we get a higher open rate with our clients or our database. And then consistent action plus feedback turns a single touch point into a lasting connection. And especially if your client has a great experience with you, you provide them with data information, they're happy, ask them for that testimonial, get that testimonial online, especially on your website, Realtor.com and Zillow as fast as possible. We always say the fortunes in the follow-up and the improvement comes from tracking what matters most. In our offices, we do follow-up Fridays. Every Friday, we follow up with everybody that we've sent any information out to that's had any type of interaction with us so that we know that they received the information that we promised and at the same time, what else we can do to help them with their ownership. Building stronger relationships, one update at a time, makes the biggest difference. Your data is only valuable if you keep it active, consistent, Well-crafted marketing updates build that trust, keeps you top of mind, and strengthens relationships. Share timely insights, personalize them, deliver through the right channels, and again, follow up. It's a key component. Do it consistent, do it consistently, and you'll create long-lasting loyalty, drive referrals, and keep your business going. As you're maximizing your relationships and your transactions, you also want to maximize your earning while strengthening those client relationships. And at Equity Real Estate, we are a set fee brokerage, which means you keep more of what you earn, and that frees up resources and income for you to invest back into your business and your clients. So keep more of your income and increase your marketing, help that increase your sales. With lower overhead, you can put more towards high quality marketing updates, professional printing, in-person events, and tools that keep your database engaged. It's not just about saving money, it's about reinvesting in the relationships that drive repeat business and referrals, especially if you're doing your quarterly client events like you should be. These are great updates to provide at those events as well. And again, re-engage your database. It's going to be crucial for your success through the end of 2025. But more importantly, it's going to help you build that momentum as we head into 2026 and the market does start to change. So thank you for all of your attention today. Feel free to scan the QR code on the screen. You can schedule a 15-minute consultation with me. You can schedule a 30-minute web meeting or a 1-hour web meeting. It does not matter what challenge you're having with your real estate business. It does not matter if you're an equity agent or you're with another company. We will help you. You're also welcome to call or text me at 801-573-4935. Again, that's 801-573-4935. And you can also email me directly, randy@equity-usa.net. After this webinar, for all of you that attended today, for everybody that registered, we're going to be sending out an email to you. It's going to have a template that you can use for your weekly market updates. It's also going to have an ebook on how to re-engage with your database that you can read back through and continue to implement in your business. Let's go out, let's be powerful, let's be productive, let's be safe, but more importantly, let's continue to enhance your skills and enhance the professionalism of our real estate industry. Everybody have a great day, be safe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.